You have reached the Geek Elite. Good luck.
And my main goal is to get through the conversation and try to make Mitch pee his pants at least once.
Could happen this week. Well, it is time. It is time to journey into mystery and talk about the next film in our not MCU Marvel journey. Yeah, that's what we're going to call it.
Yeah. I mean, we're on a journey into mystery.
Yeah, that's right. So we've gone through 4 other Incredible Hulk movies having to do with Bill Bixby or starring Bill Bixby. This is our 5th one.
Final one.
Death of the Incredible Hulk. And to talk about that movie, we welcome John Camarena back.
It's truly an honor and a pleasure to both be here for this momentous occasion. And it feels like this is the end of an era.
A little bit, but also, Mitch, in post, we can add applause to when John comes in, right? Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could. I don't know if I will.
We're not gonna, but like, there was definitely applause there. There was definitely. I'm so excited to be done with the Incredible, like the Bixby Incredible Hulk movies. 1 and 2 were cool. I believe it. 1 and 2 were rad. Like, they were fun. They saved the early part of the Marvel movies for me. But at this point, just it's been enough. You can let it go. The one with Thor, I liked that one, not because it was a Hulk movie, but because I liked Golden Retriever Thor.
He's so happy. He just wants to play.
Right? He just wants to drink and dance and have a good time. And
now, the last two movies were meant to be a springboard or backdoor pilots for those other characters. Do you suppose that this not Natasha Romanoff was going to get her own spinoff as well?
I mean, it didn't seem like there was plans this time, but if they had actually decided to make her Black Widow, yes, I'm sure it would have been. But we'll get into that when we get to the movie. First, we're going to talk a little bit about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're up to 4 episodes now, and the last episode ended on a pretty exciting, like, ender. If you watched it, if you haven't watched it, please skip ahead like 15 minutes. But what do you all think about a bloody Captain America shield?
I'm so mad.
I mean, that really just like cements how well Wright Russell is doing as John Walker and how well the writers are doing, right? Because like,
no, he's doing too well. He had to delete his social media. That's how well he's doing.
This is true. This is like the return of the actor who had to play Joffrey from Game of Thrones,
right?
Yeah, or so Rose Tico from Star Wars,
right? Like, y'all, actors
but you weren't supposed to hate Rose.
No, actors are actors and they're doing the job. All right,
exactly.
Hate their character. Love them for making a character that you hate.
Exactly.
Like, y'all are wild out there. I'm watching you, all right? And there's a couple of you that I'm having beef with right now. You know who you are. But like, oh my god, everything that's been going on where he's like, would you take the serum? Would you do it? It's like, you already took it, obviously. That's why you're asking.
Yeah.
Like,
you think he took it by that point?
I think he did. I think he was like gonna do it and ask for forgiveness later.
Okay.
Like, don't ask permission, ask forgiveness. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It was like, look, I had to do it. Like, the mission was on the line, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh. And secretly did it. So obviously, like, they're not using the Vita rays in this version of the super soldier serum. In the comic books, that's a pretty important part. Like the second set of Captain America's and Bucky's from the 50s in the Marvel comics, like they went crazy because they took the serum, they used plastic surgery to change their faces so they look like Steve and Buck, and then since they didn't have Vita rays, they went crazy. Like that Captain America like became an evil like super soldier, and Buck became Nomad, who also kind of went bad.
I get it, like reverse Captain America.
Kind of like your reverse Flash.
It's like if they don't get the super Vita rays, then like they become like vitamin D deficient, and that's why they're like in a bad mood all the time.
I mean, I guess that's a good way of looking at it.
Not getting enough sunlight.
No, not enough sunlight. You know, I mean, they definitely play up the whole if you're good, it makes you better. If you're bad, it makes you evil. Like it just exaggerates whatever personality traits you have.
Well, what does that mean for Carly? Because I feel like she's a bad guy, but not like bad guy. You know what I mean? Like she's doing some kind of shady things, but for some honest, like you can understand her. You can understand what she's trying to do, and everything that's going on isn't necessarily awful.
Yeah, no, she's obviously has a very noble cause, but
she did blow up that building, though.
Exactly, yeah. If she went about it and didn't kill people, her statement of like this is the only thing that people they understand. Like, I get that too, but like. I mean, if you could have just destroyed the building without killing the people, then that would have been another thing, another story. But like, yeah. I don't know. She makes good points. One side's freedom fighters is another side's terrorists.
Right. I honestly think that we had a way to wrap up this show in this episode had John Walker not been an idiot and rushed the time frame.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because, you know, Sam and Carly, they were having a moment. Like that was a real conversation about like, is there a middle ground here that we can come to? And it was so close. And that's what pissed me off.
Yeah, it was almost there. But let's talk about Carly for a second. How do you think she has all that information on Sam and Sam's sister? Who's feeding her information is basically what I'm getting at.
Yeah, there's definitely a third party here that we're not being made privy to just yet. Could be connections.
Or we have been made privy to, we just don't know the connection. And
it's Zemo.
No, I'm going with it's Agent Carter. It's Sharon. She's not an agent anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Art Thief Carter.
What?
Art Thief Carter.
Art Thief Carter. Well, or Power Broker Carter.
Do you think she's Power Broker?
I think she's a little too set up to not be.
That would be a really fun turn of events where it's like, look, I brought you to the guy who was making my stuff. I let you kill him, but really this is the long game. I'm sorry, you both die now.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be weird that she did let her scientists get killed, and then she fought her own men outside. But like, also, if it's Zemo, he's teaming up with the Flag Smashers when he doesn't care for them. He doesn't like that, you know, that they were using a super soldier serum. Like he wants to kill them.
See, I think he's down for the Flag Smashers. I just think that he's not okay with the super soldier aspect of it.
Mm.
Yeah, and he even said earlier that, you know, he was using Bucky as a means to an end also. So I'm still thinking that once he was done with Bucky in the original plan, he was going to kill him anyway. Yeah, like same with all the other super soldiers in the Winter Soldier program. I've said it before in our other podcast, like he's never said he wasn't going to try to kill Bucky because he's still a super soldier out there. And that's basically it. But I don't think it's Zemo. Are we to assume then that if it's potentially Sharon Carter or Agent 13, whatever name she goes by now, so she didn't disappear in the blip? Because I thought it was discussed that she was, but it wouldn't make sense. Like, she would have had to have filled in during that power vacuum of the blip. Like, she would have had to have been around and build up that base. Because, I mean, it's only been about 6 months since the blip, like, reversed. I don't know if that's enough time to, create this criminal underworld and amass all this fortune of art.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But it would have been after Civil War, because Civil War is when she has to go on the run. That's when she stole from the government. So you have Civil War to Infinity War, and then where things get snapped. So maybe she built up her criminal life then. But I honestly, I don't know. I don't know if she got snapped or not.
I would have to venture to say that she didn't. I think that she was still around during that time. There was powerful people that disappeared, and she was in a prime position, had the right set of skills to, plant a stake in that in Lowtown.
So according to Marvel Cinematic Universe.fandom.com wiki Sharon Carter, she did get blipped. She did get snapped.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, how
Curious.
accurate is the fandom page?
The wiki?
Yeah. Because, anybody can put whatever they want on those pages. I don't know.
I actually just wrote that.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that either.
I just went in and I was like, hey, she totally got blipped. Tell Mitch. And they're like, all right, cool.
So because the fact that we still have 2 episodes left and they haven't actually showed us the power broker means I think it has to be someone that we've already seen on screen. Could it even be someone that's not Zemo or Sharon? Sure. I just don't know who else it could be. Maybe it's Thunderbolt Ross. Maybe he's the power broker. Maybe he went crazy after Infinity War.
Because everything we do comes back around to Ross.
That's right. Because we want the Thunderbolts.
We do. I want the Thunderbolts, and I want the Dark Avengers.
Yep.
But after the blip and after the WandaVision, there's been another merging of realities. So it's no longer the John Hurt version of Thunderbolt Ross. It's the previous one from the Incredible Hulk, or the Ang Lee Hulk.
Who was that? Who played him in that? Oh, Thunderbolt Ross.
Sam something.
Who?
Sam something.
Was it Sam
the guy
Elliott?
That was in. Yes, there you go.
Really?
Sam Elliott as Thunderbolt Ross is perfect.
He was. That was great casting for that first one.
Yeah. I'm all for that.
The only other casting that I'd be down for, but it wouldn't happen, would be J.K. Simmons.
He's gonna be everything with the mustache.
Well, that's his whole thing. Doesn't have a mustache as J.K. Simmons.
You know what? By the way, missed opportunity when they cast J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon in Batman v Superman in Justice League.
Yep.
And then they did the new Spider-Man, but it was J.K. Simmons again. I was like, missed opportunity. They should have got Gary Oldman to be fucking J.J. Jonah Jameson.
That would have been perfect.
That would have been a good JJ.
And I already could have imagined the scene where he says, I want all the pictures of Spider-Man. And somebody asks him, what do you mean all of them? And he says, all of them.
All of them. That would have been a good scene. That would have been a good scene. So according to Screen Rant, Thunderbolt Ross was also snapped. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, they came back and he's actually snapped and he's just like, give me everything.
I can never let this happen again. I'll create all the super soldiers.
Give me all the super soldiers for free right now.
Okay, so the other really cool part of the episode was, come on, the Dora Milaje, like,
oh, absolutely,
fighting the 4 of them.
just styling on them.
all three of the Dora Milaje.
Yeah, all three defeating the four of them.
I loved that Bucky was like, all right, here we go. And like started a fight and they were like, nope, bop, bop, give me your arm.
Now, to be fair, Zemo ducks out like right away. He never.
Yeah. But he would have made 5. There were still 4 of them up against the 3 Dora Milaje.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because it was Sam, Buck, John, and what's his face?
Omar. Yeah.
I already wasn't counting Hoskins. I was like, oh, he's down.
Yeah, he got taken out pretty quick, unfortunately. But I saw somewhere else, and I haven't gone and rewatched the episode, so I don't know if you two have. But someone said that one of the Dora Milaje's spears went actually pierced the shield, and I don't think it did. I think it stopped it.
It stopped it a few times when they pinned the shield. It was through the through the brace.
Yeah, it was through. I knew that was through the brace, but I think it was the one when she came right at him and he puts the shield up. Like someone claimed that it punctured it there, and I was like, I don't think so.
I would need to go back and double check that, but I don't think that's how vibranium works.
Even vibranium can't even go through vibranium.
I don't think so. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams, man.
That's my other podcast. No, in Civil War, we did see that the Black Panther's claws did scratch the shield.
You're right.
And those scratches were there the whole rest of the movie.
But no, it just scratched the paint. It didn't scratch the actual shield.
I'm pretty sure it was a little scratchy scratch.
I don't know. Well, I mean, we know Thanos' blade can break the shield, so it can cut through vibranium.
But that was Thanos' blade made of.
That blade was probably forged by Eitri and that.
You're probably right.
Dark Star, whatever that was.
That was probably when he picked up the. I don't know, because that was past Thanos. Past Thanos had that.
I mean, past Thanos would have also had the gauntlet.
Yeah. Oh, true. So when he rocked up and he's like, Eitri, give me that glove.
And I'll take this sword
and
too.
That and that sword too. Give me that. And he's like, no. He's like, give me your hands.
It's like, what do you got that's good against vibranium?
Hey, Eitri. So I went up against a dude, right? One dude's got a big ass hammer, and the other one's got a shield made of vibranium. What do you got that beats it? And he's like, I mean, hypothetically, I guess I got this sword. And he's like, sold. I said hypothetical. Nope, I see it right there. Give it.
So that means you're gonna pay me for this? You said sold. You're gonna pay me for this?
Psych! Take his hands.
I mean, I don't feel like that's very balanced of Thanos to just fucking put Eitri's hands and smelt him.
Well, I mean, he had to smelt him so he couldn't make anything to beat the gauntlet.
I mean.
That's not balanced. It's also not balanced that when Thanos snapped, he was immune to his own snap.
I mean, you don't know that. It could have been a 50-50 chance. It's literally a 50-50 chance if he got snapped out.
I think he was like, everybody me.
Ooh, and the Infinity Stones were like, ooh, you got me.
half of everybody, minus me. And they're like, hold up, that throws a whole wrench in the calculations here. Hold on. That's why it took so long when everybody turned to dust, because the stones were actively doing the math on okay, so that whole thing minus one person, now cut it in half. And you can't have a remainder.
No. Because you half a person just running around that suck.
That would do we just kill that guy?
What if he it still exists? Because he still existed. He still walked around. And it's not cut half top. It's through the vertically.
If there were any conjoined twins, would they both have disappeared?
Ooh.
Where do you draw the line?
Right there.
It depends whether they're connected at the heart or not.
Right.
Now,
do they share a spleen
or a brain?
Replaceable.
Okay. Is last two episodes? What the two of you excited about? What do you hope to see?
I want to see more punching. I want to see more running. I want to see more falconing.
We're definitely gonna see all three of those things.
I want to see a giant robot.
Can I sell you on Godzilla versus Kong?
I watched it. It was fun. I want a flashback of Steve because they say this next one is supposed to have a pretty big cameo in it. So I want a moment between Buck and Steve. I would even settle for Sam and Steve.
I mean, there's so I don't know if, and I pointed this out in the Geeks Watch, but I don't know if you've noticed it, Ian, but there are missing credits at the end, spots where they're supposed there. You notice that there are supposed to be names. So essentially, like when Emily Van Camp finally showed up as Sharon Carter, that spot got filled in with Emily Van Camp's name.
Oh,
so there's an obvious void. So yeah, there's at least 3 more cameos that are going to be showing up, or 3 more big names.
It'll probably be Fury then. He'll just be like, "So you gave away the shield, huh?"
Oh, one thing I did want to throw out there, and I if they did make Sharon the power broker, and then going forward, we know that there's going to be a Secret Invasion episode, or TV show. Could that Sharon be a Skrull?
Isn't that the point of Secret Invasion? Is that anybody could be a Skrull?
It's true. And what a better time to replace people with a Skrull when everybody gets snapped back.
I mean, yeah. Also, John, right now, $10 says Mitch is a Skrull when Secret War happens.
Secret Invasion.
I get them confused. They're the same thing to me. Like, honestly, they're so interchangeable in title. I hate it.
The big reveal at the end of that is going to be that I've been a Skrull the whole time. But
Yo!
No, see, I don't know if it's fair to talk about, because we definitely avoided this in the Geeks Watch conversation. But if we're going based off of the trailers, because I don't consider trailer spoiler if that's official material that they put out.
They're not.
I'm not talking about the new mid-season trailer that they just released, but apparently had even more footage.
Right.
But in like the very first trailers for the series, months and months before this thing came out, there's a lot of footage of like Sam practicing with the shield.
True.
And up until now, we haven't gotten anything like that. So in these next 2 episodes, if we're going based off of just the trailers and that footage,
well,
he's gonna get the shield back and he's gonna train with it.
Or that could be flashback footage. If it's like WandaVision, that could be when after Steve gave him the shield and before he gave it to the museum, like he was practicing and seeing if he actually wanted to be the new Captain America. Like I could see that happening too.
That would be really cool.
But
especially because the trees that he's throwing it at in the trailers look like they look like the Barton residence.
Kind of does. I mean, who better to teach him accuracy, right?
Right. You go hang out with Clinton. He's like, nope, do it again. You suck.
I mean, in the comic books, after Cap died, Tony tried to give the shield to Clint and he was like, hey, you're one of the only people that can actually throw this and then catch it. Like, we lost 4 shield agents trying to catch this thing already. So it would make sense. But we also have to take into account that this is Marvel Studios. Like, they are not against giving you fake footage in a trailer or footage that's never going to show up or footage that's been changed. Like, think about Infinity War. You saw the Hulk running in that group with everybody. That it did not end up being Hulk. It ended up being Banner in a Iron Man suit or a Hulkbuster suit.
Through that. And in the trailers for Thor Ragnarok, he didn't look like he was missing his eye in scenes that he later would be.
That's right. Absolutely.
So that's a good point. I don't know though, like that just seems like real simple, like we're just gonna fudge the graphics a little bit here. The end result will be different. This is like complete scenes that are like apparently not, I don't know. We still have 2 episodes to go. I mean, Cap is now technically a war criminal, which seems to be a running theme with Captain America.
Is he though?
He's got some explaining to do at the very least.
He's completely sanctioned by the Sokovia Accords and by, well, I guess technically they don't know that he took the serum, so maybe that would make him a war criminal.
Yeah, because there's probably some kind of regulation, or it's against the Geneva Convention now in this reality.
Yeah.
Either way, he straight up murdered a dude in front of everybody.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a small but very impactful moment from the TV show Lost, a show that I both love and hate. It reminded me of the scene where Mr. Echo was like pretending to be like a pastor. In this like impoverished like African like location. I don't know where that took place, but you know, it's one of those where there's like warlords and all that going on.
Right.
And so he ends up like murdering one of the warlords that was coming to harass the people inside the church. And like rather than the people being grateful, they like immediately board up the church. They're like, "Oh no, like this is unholy ground now."
I mean,
and that was
it is something that's very much against the church to do, especially in the church. So I understand that.
But like the reaction was immediate. Like even the people that he technically saved their lives are like, "No, you've done wrong. Like this is messed up." And that's kind of the feeling I got from the Shield now. I was like, "Oh no, you've tainted the symbol of America."
Right, like that shield, you don't get blood on. The like sharp, punchy shields from Infinity War, you get blood on those.
You could do that. That would
go for it. Go for it with that. The whole time, like anytime John Walker does anything, because I'm watching this with my wife. Anytime he does anything, she goes, "Steve would never." And then when he murdered that guy in the street, she went, Steve wouldn't. Steve would never.
I mean, we can't forget that during World War II, Steve used a gun. I'm sure he did kill people then, but as he said in the first Avengers movie, he said, you know, that was a different time. We had to use different measures.
Yeah, and like I'm sure throughout the time that Cap was working with Shield, he's probably killed a bunch more people.
Yeah.
But just double fisting that shield into this dude's skull, that's not Cap.
Do you think it was his skull? I figured it was his chest.
I mean, probably, given that there's no like anything else, it's just blood on the shield.
Yeah.
But still, like Cap wouldn't.
No.
Cap was like, I'm gonna break your neck with a quick punch to like like a quick Drake punch,
and then carry him away like he's just knocked out. Oh, he's gonna be fine, folks.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. No. Walker's gone completely off the deep end.
Yeah. There's not gonna be any redemption for that guy.
No. None. And I think that's pretty genius though, because like right from the beginning, that's how they set him up. He was just gonna be the fall guy. He's gonna take that punch because he can.
Mm-hmm.
Also, last big gripe about Walker here. Not once has he said, "I can do this all day."
It's true.
If he does, I'm still gonna be mad because it's like, you're not Steve.
You get those words out of your mouth.
He did the exact opposite. He went, "They weren't even super soldiers."
Yeah.
After he got defeated by the Dormelage.
Right. Steve would have just kept getting up. Even if he wasn't a super soldier. He would have ditched the shield and been like, "All right, let's go." As opposed to being like, "Well, shield's stuck. I'm stuck." Like,
Okay. Let's get into talking about the death of the Incredible Hulk.
Like what we're actually here to talk about.
We're actually here to talk about. I have to just skip right to the end, right to the death of the Incredible Hulk. Wow. How lackluster and anticlimactic. Like, he jumps from a helicopter, blows up a plane, and then falls to his death. Like, of all the things to kill the Hulk, a fall. No, I can't accept this.
I can accept it because it's just as disappointing as the rest of them after like Thor. So
and then also it had it lasting so long and such a bad like special effect of, you know, having the camera move further away from Lou Ferrigno that's lying on the ground and it's spinning like, it's so bad.
You know what this movie is missing?
What is it?
So the second one had the bear toss.
So you needed to fight a bear?
No, the second one had the bear toss. I think it was the third one that Thor was in.
Yes.
Yes. That one had Thor in it, which made it like, all right, this is fun, right? There was no that in this movie.
No, there wasn't.
There was no like whimsy to it.
No, there wasn't. There was,
if that's the right word to use there, but like I hope I'm communicating that well.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, there needs to be a little bit of whim.
Now, do you suppose that, like, because I thought, I haven't seen all of the Hulk movies, but I kind of noticed in these that it seems like he was the Hulk less and less as these movies kept going.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree. I feel like, well, one, they do talk about, the trivia for this one does talk about they didn't have the money to do any new transitions of Bill Bixby to Lou Ferrigno. So they used ones that they had from before, and then they used the contact lenses in Bill Bixby's eyes. I would just assume that it's just because the destruction that the Hulk causes just costs too much.
All of those balsa wood sets and furniture.
I mean, because even though it's just balsa wood and you know, cheaply made furniture, if you have to do more than one take, you still have to make more of that furniture.
Oh, this is true. That really eats into your like prop budget right there.
Prop budget and time. Like you got to clean up all that stuff, reset, get everybody back, and do it again.
I mean, as somebody who used to clean up balsa wood chunks for a living, it doesn't take that long to clean up balsa wood.
That's fair. You're absolutely right. But you take into account unions and, you know, people having to get breaks. It just, all that stuff takes time to reset.
True that. Plus, at this point, Bill Bixby was pretty much like in complete control of the Hulk series, wasn't he?
He was. He directed this one again, and it's solely spurred on by him at this point. He had to shop it around to a bunch of different networks after this one to see if anybody was still interested in giving him another movie, because there was plans for at least two more after this. There was the rebirth of the Incredible Hulk and the revenge of the Incredible Hulk. Plus, there was going to be a She-Hulk movie.
Okay, I'd be down for that.
And I think John knows who it was they had cast to play She-Hulk.
I don't remember.
You really don't? Okay. Brigitte Nielsen of Rocky 5? No, 4.
Yeah, and Sonja. Red
Sonja, yeah.
Yeah.
You know who it should have been if they were going to make a She-Hulk show?
Who's that?
Betty White.
Oh, I mean, she knows how to be the immortal part. I get it.
Like it's just Betty White. No, like there's no transformation. There's no nothing. Betty White just like, one more time. What?
You know, this is completely tangential, but we recently had the passing of a really great comedic actress, Jessica Walters, and I was holding on to hope that she would be cast as Madam Web in some kind of Spider-Man project, because she would be so perfect for that.
She would have been
That
great.
would have been fantastic.
And her passing was like a week after we did our Doctor Strange episode too, which she starred in as Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah, that's true. And
whoa,
so she had the history. She was in there.
Yeah. And And if you go and Google Brigitte Nielsen She-Hulk, there's actually there's pictures of her test footage, her screen test in the
I have to see this now.
She-Hulk, what they were going to use as the She-Hulk costume, I guess. Like she had green hair and wore green, like a green unitard kind of looking thing, and then like a weird outfit on top of that.
It's very geometric. I just Googled it.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about this. It looks weird.
I mean, it was going to be 1991 when that came out, I guess, or 1992. So,
dude, this would have been campy AF. She looks like the Enchantress.
She does look a little bit like the Enchantress,
right?
Like the Marvel version,
right? Or one of the I forget which Fury it is from DC, from Apocalypse, but she looks like one of them too. Is it Mad Harriet?
I don't know their names, but I think I know which one you're talking about. That is bizarre. Like that would have been.
Yes, that's the one you're thinking of.
Interesting, okay. But
yeah, that would have been a show. That would have been something to see, I think, in 1991. Let me see what it says. Unfortunately, none of this bore fruit. Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno would have came back. Yeah, it was supposed to be made in 1991.
So I just want to point out here really quick, because you brought up Mad Harriet. I Googled to make sure that I had the character design correct in mind here. And the Google results, the art is so staggering.
Really?
Because there's the comic books, like where she shows up there. And then apparently she shows up in DC Superhero Girls.
Oh. Okay.
And then we're like right back into the I'm gonna cut you in half, Mad Harriet. It's like, oh God. One's like, hey, look at me, I've got really sharp hands. And the other one's like, my hands are made of spikes, come here.
I believe we've lost John.
I thought he was just sitting very patiently.
No, he's actually frozen there. He lost his internet connection. Hopefully he'll come back. Oh, now we've lost his picture. Hopefully he'll come back. Does this mess up your oh, he's back. There he is.
There we go. We got him back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
But yes, so there was supposed to be at least 3 more movies. Unfortunately, Bill Bixby's health started to decline, and we lost him about 1991. 1992, somewhere in there. But yeah. What more can we say about the death of the... Oh, I wanted to say is one of the people that I recognized... before I get to that. So, as John brought up earlier, the character of Yasmin is supposed to be somewhat of a Black Widow character, analog. And there was also supposed to be... Originally, when they were throwing this one around, it was going to be Black Widow and Iron Man in this movie. I don't know who they would have, who the Iron Man stand-in for this ended up being, unless they were the Dr. Ronald Pratt character was supposed to be like the Howard Stark kind of thing.
Well, really, you just look for whoever would have been Tom Cruise, and that's who Iron Man would have been.
We didn't have a Tom Cruise.
Begs the question. We don't do that anymore. That's very season 1.
That's true. That was season 1. So yeah, Yasmin. That character was played by Elizabeth Gracen, and I know Elizabeth Gracen from watching the Highlander TV series. She played what was her name in that show? Eventually, she got her own spin-off from that show. Amanda Devereaux or Daru, Darieux. I don't know French well.
Tibedax.
I don't think that's it. But yes, Amanda. She plays Amanda, another immortal. She eventually goes on to have a spin-off TV series called Highlander the Raven. But I thought that was kind of interesting, and they use the nude back very much in this movie of her.
A lot of very sensual stitching.
Yes, I mean, there's the scene where she's in the shower. There's the scene where she's getting stitched up. And then there's the love scene between her character of Yasmin and David Banner, or what is it this time? David Bellamy.
Bellamy.
Belting, something like that.
Yeah,
Bellamy.
Which, by the way, so at the beginning, well, because completely sidelined the plot, but I just wanted to point out at the beginning, the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh, he's doing a Good Will Hunting.
Yes. Yes, he was. Totally went in there and did a Good Will Hunting. I mean, what exactly is the plot of this movie? Like, what were the Russians doing? Is it just Cold War? We're going to steal like medical technology information?
So yes, it was like a 3-way like game of chess that was happening here, because this doctor was making like great leaps and bounds, but Banner, or well, in this case,
Bellamy.
But I guess his name is still Banner.
It is
Bellamy,
still Banner, yeah.
Yeah. Like he was saying like, oh, you're the closest it's come to like reaching the level of research I did before everything like, took a crap. And so he was trying to help advance this guy's research because he felt that if he got him to the same point that he was in the late 70s, that they could somehow figure out how to reverse the Hulk situation. Whereas the doctor was basically just doing genetic research, and that was pretty obvious with all of the ATA, CTA, TGT, all of that scrawled everywhere.
That computer
with the computer,
was so
obviously,
ridiculous too.
like that thing had some really good speech to text abilities for the early 90s. But yeah, this was that point in time where I feel like DNA was starting to become the hot thing with fiction, in science fiction in particular. And then, yeah, you have the Russians who are basically trying to steal the research because they feel it's like, I'd imagine there's a chart that says like, steal this scientist's research, then question mark, and then profit.
that would have been accurate, yes.
And there was some kind of a mastermind that was using, what was her name? Jasmine's sister as leverage. But then we come to find out the sister was
the mastermind.
The crime boss, all along, and using her sister's love against her.
Look how progressive this 1990s movie was. 1990s made-for-TV movie. They had a female Russian crime boss.
I mean, hey, that's the whole thing right there.
Right there. That wins. That wins it all. It also had a very creepy guy by the name of Zed, who apparently loves to torture people, and he's very good at it. As one guy, what was his name?
Was anybody disappointed that as soon as they introduced the guy that does torture, it was like, oh, he's gonna screw up when they put him in a room with David Banner,
and that never happens.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was upsetting.
I feel like there's so, and it doesn't just go for this particular Hulk movie. There's so many times where stuff like that happens, where they don't abide by like Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, this is true.
Or it's just like, look at this thing. Forget the thing. We're doing this now.
So I recognize the guy who plays kind of essentially your main bad guy, the one that's underneath Yasmin's sister, but Kasha, played by Andreas Katsula. He's like a bad guy in just about everything, but I guess John would know him best. Did you recognize him, John?
No. Who is this?
So he played Commander Tomalak in a bunch of Star Trek Next Generation stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I do remember. It's like, hey, he looks like he was in Star Trek. And sure enough, he was, yes.
He was in 110 episodes of Babylon 5 also as Gakar.
That I never watched.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff to his credit, including The Fugitive and Executive Decision. But
you switch the samples.
Was he the one-armed man in The Fugitive? I think he might have been.
I think so.
Yeah.
Now I need to go watch The Fugitive again. Damn it, Mitch.
You're welcome.
It's my friend, Dr. Richard Kimball.
You get to see Harrison Ford shake his finger at people.
Oh, and I'm so here for it. It's a gorgeous man. I don't care what anybody says.
Can't fly a plane for shit though.
No, he can't. But he keeps doing it, and that's how you know he's not a quitter.
And he just rode a bike 1,000 miles.
Did he?
Yeah, because they won't let him fly. That's why. He's just a stubborn old man.
I want my ability to fly back.
I want to talk about the relationship between Banner and Pratt. Like, they make this out to be like, oh, you've accepted me into your family. You treated me like your son. You're like a father to me. The guy's
they have a whole montage.
Yeah, I know. But the guy's like 5 years older than him. Like they do not. They look really close in age to be doing a father-son thing. But then again, they pair up Bixby and Elizabeth Warren, not Warren. Sorry,
missed it by a couple of decades.
Elizabeth Grayson. Like, obviously, he's much older than she is.
Yeah. You know what though? I found it offensive that they had that scene where he was like, "You have like welcomed me to your family, and for the first time, I felt like I belong somewhere." I was like, that happened in the last two movies. You bonded with Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that happened in the last 5 movies.
Yeah, you bonded with Daredevil. You left the lady who knew you were the Hulk and accepted you for being the Hulk.
Yep.
You punched a bear.
I mean, they wanted you to stay on that farm too.
Yeah, they were like, "Yo, you can work here," and he's like, "No, you don't have any sort of gamma radiation I can suck in."
That bear's probably more butthurt that the Hulk pretends not to know him. Like that never happened.
Right?
Does he tell other bears like, "This one time I got in a fight with the Hulk, and I'm here to talk about it. So what's up with that?"
And they're like, "Nuh-uh, the Hulk never leaves survivors, idiot." And he's like, "Aw."
He'll come back one day, and you'll see.
But it was him. It was the Hulk. Come on. Because the bear is now voiced by Ray Romano for some reason. No, I mean it. It was
Deborah.
the Hulk. Deb. Robert, come on. That's my brother. The Hulk fought me.
Oh.
That was my one chance to get Mitch to pee himself, and it didn't work.
It did not. I'm not a big fan of Ray Romano. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
Had it been Kevin James, though, man.
I can't do a Kevin James.
Hey, I'm Kevin James. I'm in Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Oh, wait. Now I gotta go to the bathroom.
Just Kevin James. What does this evolve to?
Do you think that they would have, if they would have kept making these movies, we would eventually have gotten like all the different Marvel character cameos that he previously had into one movie, and they would have makeshift like Avengers?
I think so. It wouldn't have been called Avengers.
It would have been called the Defenders, because the Hulk was a part of the Defenders at one point. I don't know.
They would have been Avengers West Coast.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Anything else you want to say about this particular movie?
No disrespect to Bill Bixby in the least, because the first two were fantastic. Big quotation marks around fantastic. They were fun for what they were. But I'm very glad that we're done with the Hulk movies.
I know that John at one point sort of met Lou Ferrigno, but I feel I feel like Ian needs to meet Lou Ferrigno at some point in his life now.
Yes, go up to Lou Ferrigno and ask him for an autograph.
No, I've heard the guy sucks. I've heard the dude is a chump.
He was my first celebrity Comic-Con experience at the tender age of 15, and that was like a hard slap of reality to my fandom. I was like, oh no, celebrities can be assholes.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the dude sucks.
Yeah.
Didn't you watch?
And I still say,
sorry, didn't you watch? Crap, what's that? Jason Segel, Paul Rudd movie called?
I Love You, Man.
I Love You, Man. He says that Lou Ferrigno's a kind of a nice guy.
No, that's bullshit. That's some kind of reverse psychology, trying to get in. Because I'm sure it got back to him at some point. It's his publicist or somebody was like Mr. Ferrigno, lately your con attendances have been diminishing because you have kind of a reputation. And he was probably like, well, how do I make it better? I don't know how he talks. He's just grunts.
Spot on.
They probably said, well, there's a movie filming and they need a relatively well-known but cheap cameo. We told them you'd do it for scale and they'll totally build you up as being a super sweet, nice guy. And he was probably like, okay. And, then that's what they build him as. He's just really big, strong, softy, with a heart of gold. And it's no, he is a jerk to fans.
This headcanon that you've come up with, John, I'm here for it. I'm completely here for it.
I just like to draw the lines and make connections even when they don't exist.
See, you said Jason Segel, and in my head it was Steven Seagal.
Paul Rudd and Steven Seagal in a movie together.
I was so confused what movie you were talking about, and I was like, I need to see this movie.
I want this movie where Steven Seagal plays Paul Rudd's father, and he's ex Green Beret mercenary guy, and then Paul Rudd's this complete accountant, and he's he couldn't be more opposite of his dad, and he just then shenanigans happen kind of thing after that.
So give me a movie that's Paul Rudd and Steven Seagal. Just exactly what you said. It's an action movie starring Paul Rudd with Steven Seagal as his dad, and somebody kidnaps his dad, and he has to go rescue his dad. But it's accountant Paul Rudd being like, I think I've seen my dad do this once.
And then he goes,
so
of course, go ahead, John.
It would be Taken, but.
In reverse.
If Paul Rudd's an accountant, I want to call it something like Subtracted.
And then there's going to have to be a crucial point in the third act when he has to find his dad, and he uses forensic accounting to find out where they've stashed him away, and that will be the crux of it.
He goes into the books.
Yep.
The bad guy.
He's like, I got this one.
His partner, so his dad's old partner goes with him to rescue Steven Seagal, and his old partner is
played by Carl Weathers.
I was gonna say if he was still alive, the Macho Man.
The Macho Man's not alive anymore.
No, but
yo, Joe Manganiello does a killer Macho Man though.
He does a killer Macho Man and Hulk Hogan.
Perfect.
I think he could do it.
Then we get him doing a Macho Man impression.
Why don't we just go with Jesse Ventura? He's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John would love the conspiracy theory person being in there.
I love a good conspiracy theorist actor and former governor of Minnesota, but he did that one movie that's just a little too creepy that I'm I've just never been able to see him the same ever since.
I think you're going to have to elaborate. He was in Tusk, wasn't he?
No. No, it's what was the name of it? It'll come back to me in a split second. But
Running Man's a great movie. I don't know why you would say that.
No, this was. Oh no, I love Running Man. What was his name in that one? Captain Liberty or something like that. very play on the whole Captain America thing.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right. I think it was Captain Liberty.
No, he did a movie called like Abadox or something like that.
Was this like after being governor?
No, this was prior. Like this was just like weird and bad, and there was like some weird like man boy love tones to the movie that I was like, what?
And now we're changing the subject. So
yeah, we ain't about that.
So what's the action figure that we get out of this movie? What showed up on the toy shelves, Ian?
It would have been a playset that has it's the helicopter scene.
Oh, okay, all right. I could dig that. I say you would have got Yasmin, but with the interchangeable Black Widow outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John?
I would say there would be a Hulk action figure similar to what it's a Braxis, by the way, Guardian of the Universe, 1990. So I would like to see a Hulk action figure that when you drop it, it like reverts into like a David Banner. Like it would have like a spring action. like you know those you remember those Power Rangers that had the morphin heads? Like you just do something to them and like their head would flip around and then it would be like the helmet version. So basically that, but with the Hulk. So every time you drop it from like a distance of like at least 3 or 4 feet, then it would like that spring mounted thing on it would like revert it to make it look like David Banner. And it would have like that sad look on his face, like he's dying.
I wonder if you could do something like that where it was like expanded as the Hulk, and then once it like takes trauma, it hits, it like becomes smaller, like if you used a mouse trap or something, like the spring in a mouse trap. I'm sure you could do something like that.
It's totally doable. Yeah, I'm sure it's out there. I mean, if not, this should be like patented and copyrighted right now.
Yeah, there was another one. Oh, did anybody else think that in the first one when Yasmin showed up in the lab and interrupted the new experiment on Banner to try and stop his transformation, that someone else was going to get like hit with the beam, and then they were going to become like another Hulk kind of character? Like we were going to get the Abomination or something like that?
I was hopeful but disappointed.
I mean, I can't believe we didn't in 5 movies get another Hulk or another gamma radiated person. I don't know if they did in the show. Did you watch the show, John?
I mean, I vaguely remember the show. So yeah, I don't think so. I think it was like a one-time thing, like such a freak occurrence that even if they wanted to, they wouldn't know how to like replicate it. But this could be my faulty memory, but I could have sworn that I saw this movie when it first premiered way back in the 90s. And for some reason in my brain, I thought that what happened was when he got strapped into that chair, what they did was separate him from the Hulk. Like it basically was like the Hulk became its own physical being outside of David Banner, and that's how he was going to be free of him. And somehow they had to get put back together, either for their survival or because like it turns out that without David Banner kind of keeping him somewhat held back, that he was just completely like going to go like berserk and like exterminate the planet someday or something to that effect. I don't know where that came from, and I don't know if that's from something else.
I think,
but that's what I remembered from this movie.
I think that's in the TV series somewhere.
That they separate him from his body, and then they have to get put back together.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe because like I have a vivid memory that happened, but obviously it didn't happen here. So I'm like, where was that then?
Okay, Ian, we're done. We're done with the Incredible Hulk. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to see the Hulk again until we get to Ang Lee's Hulk with Eric Bana.
I got excited for a minute, and then I was like, "Wait, nope, we have one more."
Yeah, you have Nick Nolte and Eric Bana and Jennifer Connelly to look forward to,
and Sam Elliott.
And Sam Elliott, yeah.
That makes it more palatable. I'm gonna be honest. All right.
How far away is that? That's it's looking
Far
around
enough.
June 16th.
All right. There's a little reprieve there then.
So you got 2 months.
What's still on the chopping block? Still got to do Generation X, Nick Fury, Blade 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here for the Blade movies, but we also have the Fantastic Four movie from the 90s that we have to get through.
That's next week.
Nice. You know what? It's worth it if only for that entire subplot that happens in the Arrested Development first season of Netflix. There's like an entire, like Maria Bamford plays the actress that played Sue Storm in that movie, and there's all kinds of references that go back to the 90s Fantastic Four for no real reason. It's just, but it in the typical Arrested Development manner, it just ties in so well at the end.
All right. I'm on board for it, I guess.
All right. Ian, where can people find you online?
So if y'all want to find me online, I'm not hard to find at all. Like at all. You can find me right here on twitch.tv/IanFlux. That's where we're streaming right now, by the way. Come hang out on Wednesdays. It's a good time. And you can find me on Twitter at IanFlux12, Instagram at IanFlux. That's IANFLUX, and on Twitter, IANFLUX, the numbers 1 and 2.
And John, where can people find you online?
You can find me everywhere as @MagicBollocks. Google it. You find it, that's me.
I mean, are you the first thing that shows up on Google?
I mean, there's no others. Like so far, I've looked to see if there's been a Magic Bollocks 1 or Magic_Bollocks. Nope. So far, I'm still the only one with that particular combination.
I mean, if you just typed in Magic Bollocks in the Google, would you get some like other like not so appropriate things?
Nope, I just did it, and if it's all one word, it's John.
What if it's 2 words?
If it's 2 words, then you get like a book and
You get some kind of you get a Cockney street magic.
Yeah, actually 100%. That's right. But if it's all one word, we got one. The first 2 are John.
There you go. Someone pushed him into rebranding himself, and it worked.
Who would have that been? I wonder.
That just makes it easier for me to get docs now.
I mean, I get it.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm on it.
If you want to talk to me, I'm on Twitter. I'm at Mitchopedia GEM. GEM stands for Geek Elite Media. The rest of Geek Elite Media is at Geek Elite Media on Twitter, at Geek Elite Media on Instagram, and Facebook.com/Geek Elite Media is our Facebook page. Check out archived episodes of this podcast and other podcasts on our website, geekelitemedia.com. If you be one of our patrons, if you're one of our patrons, you get cool exclusive stuff. Patreon.com/Geek Elite Media. Also,
like what, Mitch?
You get to have early access to podcasts before anybody else. You get to have special bonus episodes of certain shows on the network.
Wow, is there more?
No.
When are we getting the Geek Elite Media merch?
Yeah.
Asking Mitch the hard. So it's really fun to throw Mitch off his rhythm at the end of the show because he just goes straight into the spiel, and it's so much fun to be like, wait, there's more.
I mean, if you really want a Geek Elite Media shirt or something, like, reach out to me on social media. I can point you to where I have stuff designed, and you can buy it, or you can send me money, and I'll send you a shirt.
So, there should be a shirt that says "I survived the Marvel movie marathon."
Ooh,
I survived the journey into mystery.
That's right. I too take the journey into mystery.
See, and Steven now needs to make a shirt with all of the old Marvel characters, the old Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man with the old Doctor Strange and the Hulk, and make it the 80s Avengers.
That's true. You remake the poster that they had for Infinity War, but using the old actors.
Yes.
Actual final thought here. How great would the Avengers have been if the bodyguard samurai from Spider-Man were a thing in the Avengers movies? I would have loved that. That's the last thing I had to say. I'm sorry. Take us home, Mitch.
But until next time, this is Journey into Mystery on the Geek Elite Media Network saying, always remember to geek out.
That was really slow and awkward.
I know. I've been listening to like how John's been doing it lately for some reason, and I don't know why they do it. He does it slow. So,
damn it, John.
Because I'm trying to keep in rhythm with everybody, because then everybody starts at different like times and speeds. So I want to match the earliest to the latest, and so like I'm just straight down in between.
Because I was like ready to be like geek out, but it was like geek out.
This concludes our broadcast.